literally.
It's the first week starting secondary school. Instead of being in classrooms, at XP school in Doncaster, the whole of Year 7 spend their first week on an outward bound trip to Wales. They're divided into small groups of up to 13 students called crew, and together they'll put themselves through one physical challenge after another.
So we're just going to be climbing up the rest of this mountain. We ain't got much longer left, and then we're going to be abseiling, and they're very excited for it. I feel proud that I did not get scared or just give up. Crew helps by motivating you when you're climbing. I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but I ended up getting to the top and feeling great.
There is a rigorous philosophy behind XP's approach. They're building character and community from the get-go. The concept of crew comes from the educator, Kurt Hahn, who founded Outward Bound. It's about being the best version of yourself and finding strength in our differences. It's the glue that holds XP together, supporting a curriculum taught through expeditions across subjects. The approach fits the vision of Edge Future Learning to truly engage students and prepare them for the real world. At XP, the school has excluded just one pupil ever in 5 years. Poor behaviour is rare. Attendance is regularly above the national average, and so were its first GCSE results.
I want to see real quality notes.
Back in school, Year 7 will spend 45 minutes every morning in their crew. In effect, it's a small tutor group led by teachers or teaching assistants. Crew leader, Joe Nixon, also new to XP, will look after his carefully chosen students for the next 5 years. Today, they're looking back on when they first came together in Wales.
We had courage.
Who had courage?
All of us.
All of you. And where did you get that courage from, William?
Crew.
I think the one that will always stand out to me is Reuben's.
On our own we can only lift a feather, but as a crew we can lift the world and more because together we are stronger.
It does, send shivers down my spine because I think it is amazing. Because it does put a smile on my face. We've got through this week and it's been much easier. This has been your first week of secondary school, and normally this is one of the most terrifying weeks of your life, okay? But I feel like it's probably actually been dead easy for most of you because you've had crew.
Crew is family, and that is everything that we're based on. Without building that character, you can't. Who can they become? And that's so important, crew, to be able to challenge them, to be able to have an open forum, to talk, to help, to support, and that's everything that kind of crew is and why it's so important for XP.
XP's motto is, above all, compassion. Students support each other to become the best versions of themselves.
I think it's the community feeling that really it cements the students together, and it means that they hold each other to account, they work harder, they're kinder to each other, and actually I feel I learn better working here. I've learned a lot since I've been here.
Crew acts as the cornerstone of the work that we do. This helps the adults to understand the students really well. And equally as important, it helps the students to understand each other as well. So it's not out of the ordinary for students to share that they're dyslexic or they're autistic or they struggle with certain things. And those shared experiences help to understand each other much more.
At the end of every week, there's a whole school community meeting. It's a space for both staff and students to appreciate each other, to make a stand for change, or to apologise.
I would like to apologise for being late.
Anybody else? Raj?
I'd like to appreciate the teachers who took us out on the hike lesson.
I'd like to appreciate everyone for making me feel welcome, especially my crew.
Like any school, students have issues, and staff find a space where they can reflect on their behaviour and then return to class and to their crew.
Crew is fundamental to working with students who are displaying difficulties,
because again it's part of they're part of that common good, aren't they? We do have students who display difficult behaviours, of course we do, but it's how you deal with them that is the most important thing. You know, you can kick them out, make them feel worthless, and then that has a wider impact on society and on our own community. Or you can try and work with that student to look at the cause of that difficult behaviour, and we do that very successfully here by getting the students to reflect on their behaviours, but anchoring that back to our character traits of courage and respect, craftsmanship and quality, integrity and compassion.
XP believes Crewe is driving their students' academic progress. Through it, staff have developed key moments when students can build on their learning. Every week, all students have an academic crew where they discuss their individual data for working hard, getting smart and being kind, what XP calls their habits of work and learning, or howls.
Why do you think your average howl falls below a 3?
I think it's because I need to improve on my social skills, talking to others and learning to ask that I need help more often.
In the Crewe session that we had just then, there was a lot of, I noticed that student isn't putting their hand up so much in session. And so as a Crewe, we then decide, right, well, we need to monitor them and make sure that they are doing that. And so in other Crewe sessions, so next week, we will have almost like a reporting back. And I think that holding to account is really important.
The school's discovered that the kinder its students are, the better they do.
We found that in data drops there is a clear link between students being kind of kind and their academic and how well they do in their work. And the correlation is they are more mindful of each other and they are more focused on how to be the best person they can be, both kind of kind and academically.
Mum and Dad sit either side, then you'll be able to show your work.
Okay.
Twice a year, instead of the traditional parents' evening, pupils themselves conduct a student-led conference.
Good evening and welcome to my first student-led conference. The piece of work that I found most challenging was the word-to-word letter we wrote. I asked the people on my table. You can see that I have used this strategy in my work if you look at the bit here where I have asked for help with spellings and punctuation. You've done good though.
Wouldn't really speak in front of people, wouldn't
Shy, really unconfident. His confidence come out of the roof.
Yeah.
A lot. He's improved in his work and his self. So I'm proud of him.
I love it.
Yeah, they're all there, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you ever want to speak to anyone, all your crew's there.
Yeah.
Everything builds towards Year 9, when students prepare among themselves for their passage presentation, a showcase of their best work since joining XP. It's pass or fail, and you can retake it until you get it. Students explain to a panel made up of their Crewe leader, staff, a community representative and family why they are now ready to embark on their journey to GCSEs.
Kelly, we're really looking forward to this.
Should be.
I
admit I'm incredibly nervous to begin this journey, but I need to put more faith in myself first. If I believe in myself instead of putting myself down, thinking I'm terrible, when in reality I'm actually decent at stuff.
Don't ever think that you can't be who you are, because you are a wonderful young lady. I'm absolutely delighted to say you've totally smashed that. You have passed your passage presentation. Thank you. Can we round of applause for it?
I think Crewe has helped a lot because, as it was said in my passage, I didn't actually talk for the first few months, so I had to push myself out of said comfort zone and speak.
Absolutely blown away. I'm so proud of her, aren't we? Never seen anything like it on a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, she's a completely different kid to what she was.
It is really emotional, and especially because I have been with Alice since day one. So, I've been a Crewe leader since year 7. I'll be Crewe leader for her until she leaves, and it just helps us to form those really special bonds. So in a way, her journey is my journey as well.
It's just powerful work, that. It's why we're so in love with the work we do. It's really tough. It's really hard work, but when you're working with students who, all kids have got their own stories, it's just wonderful.
Crew time is also spent doing sports, reading, de-stressing or doing PHSE. XP thinks other schools can introduce crew by cleverly using space and staff. The deeper level of engagement between students comes into its own in Year 11 as they prepare for GCSEs.
Someone else is revising the same thing. It's like we kind of group up and each of us has got our own strengths, so it's like we use our strengths and help other people and they use their strengths.
No matter the differences and how great the differences are, you always together as like just one giant family.
Try and use each other to help everyone get to the top of the mountain, and that's kind of like the metaphor that we use because we want everyone to be successful and to do what they want to do, and as crew we find that it's our responsibility to help others in our crew.
Crew helped unbelievably with our GCSE success, without doubt. If we get crew right, we get everything right. It was about how can we best work together so that we all succeed and we all achieve and we all can make a difference then in our next steps. Isn't that what we want school to be?
The future for Charlotte and her crew will require a resilience that previous generations have never had to nurture.
Use everything! Come on, Charlotte! I did it!
The hope is that Crew and Edge Future Learning will get them through, giving them the means to make that future as fulfilling as possible.